Oh, excuse me. Good evening. Welcome to the stream this evening. Something seems to have just got to me. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, which reminds me, my scalpel has been borrowed. But I don't need it for the moment. Since I have a pair of side cutters here, I can do almost as well with those. So tonight, what I'm going to do is make a bracelet. I'm going to do it with these green bicounts that are here, and then put an embellishment on top of those. And it helps to have a stringing needle or a beading needle to do this with, so let's get one of those out, which is somewhat bent. Of course, that's the idea of them, is that they do bend, but there we go. So we're going to do this in something called right angle weave, because things are at right angle. So we start with 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 and we thread them on to this cord, being careful not to just pull this sufficiently so that it pulls right off the end. So I'm going to need about that much. So what I'm going to do now is tie a knot. And that's tie a knot in the thread, not around all the tools on the desk. Now, that hopefully is a square knot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around these a couple of times. Oh dear. I hate it when the thread catches on everything going. Oh dear. Looks like I'm going to be all fingers and thumbs tonight, as they say. Now, move those out of the way, then you won't catch on them. Right, so then I string 3 more on. I'll go through there first, then I'll string 3 more on. Okay, go back through that. Which forms another block. Oh, come on. And then just keep adding blocks of 3. And 3. Doing this on the desk because I seem to be able to get a tighter weave if I do it on the desk than if I try and hold it in my hand. Don't quite follow, but it works, so that's good enough. says it. One, two. You think big beads would be easy to pick up, but to be honest I think the smaller ones are easy. Three. I bet that's just crashed. Yep. That's really clever of it. Don't know why it crashes. Used to be extremely reliable, did Windows Media Player, and now it's got less so. Oh dear. Come on, stay in place. All you gotta do is just sit there. That's all you've got to do. And yet you can't even do that, can you? Ah dear, talking to the beads again. That's got a bit of a sharp edge on it. Doesn't now. One. Ow. Helps to thread the needle through the bead, not through your finger. This is less painful doing it through the bead. So just lots and lots of right angles, hence the name right angled weaver, I guess. Make sure I don't tie a knot. I'm guessing I can't count. Oh well. I'll just have to get another one out. Since apart from the first one, they're all in blocks or in groups of 3. The first one needs 4 just to close off the square, but each subsequent one there only needs 3 to make up another square. Ooh, let's get another one out. Three. Right, I'm going to make another pass all the way through these. Just to add a little bit of tightening up and a bit of extra strength to the main bracelet. And then we'll apply an embellishment over the top. After I rethread the needle. So just going a second pass through most of the beads, basically tracing backwards. So I've put a second thread through most of them. Should tighten up the thread paths a little bit as well. Stop catching on things. I know the answer to that. That's not to have anything else on the desk, but yep, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Ow. Right, so I'll leave that tail to form that. So now then, next question is, I'm going to put some stuff on top of that, and I am thinking about not knocking things all over the place, but maybe purple. A purple bead like that. Yeah, seems okay. So I can either go with the blue, I think, or green as the filler with it. Which do I think? I think actually I probably like the blue better than I like the green for this. Especially since they're basically all blue. Yeah, we'll go with the blue. So I'll put these little green seed beads away. Let's just get a few more of these blue ones out. Go on, you go down as well. Three's too many. We'll just take that back off again. What was that? Sorry, that's covering up on my Gerhard Kartoffelmann. Thank you very much for the follow, that's most kind of you. Okay, I am now trying to just unthread this. I'll take one of these blue beads off. And then restring. So that went across that corner, so we go through that corner there, which will then sit those beads on top. And they will sit better once the side beads go in place. Nope, no. That will tie a knot around the bracelet, which we don't want. Come back, thank you. There we go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's get 12 of those purple Aurora Borealis beads out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to have to tie this thread off and put another length of thread in. So I'm going to have to remember next time making something like this I need about 9 feet of thread, not 6. Okay, now we trim that off of there. And that length of thread can go in the bin. And now then, I need another length. It's not going to be long before I'm going to need to buy some more thread. I have to see if I can get a 125 metre reel rather than a 50-yard reel. Just from the point of view of, if I'm going to go through this quickly, a larger reel will be better. That's frustrating when you actually manage to thread the needle, but in letting go of the thread you pull it back out again. Flattened off a bit too much at the end, I think. Either this goes through first time, or you spend absolutely ages trying to get it through the needle. Come on. I know you're through. Just want you to stay there while I get hold of the... There we go. Right, so I'm going to start down at this bottom end. Tie a few knots and thread it through the beads, and then carry on from where I left off. Let go of the chair. God damn it. Come on. That's it. And cut that tail off of there. And make sure that goes in the bin. You go to one side, I don't want you trapped in the thread. What I'm going to do is go back up through the beads I have just strung on the top there to reinforce them. So there's two threads going through. Have to keep it down on the desk, I think. Otherwise this cord is going to get itself wrapped right around the bracelet multiple times, which it's been trying to do. Come on, you will go through those beads. There we go, told you you would. Is there anything around here this thread won't catch on? Right, now we form a ring on the, or a loop on the end in order to put the clasp on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 beads. And that's enough to wrap a jump ring through, and then put a clasp on. I'll go through those a third time. And then we start stringing down the side this time, so I come down through that bead and we'll pick up 2, and go down. So those 2 just sit very nicely just between the bicone beads. So it just fills in the gap between the beads, which between the larger bicones, gives a defined edge to the bracelet, and adds just a little bit more colour down the edge there. Also, it makes it a little bit stronger as well. That camera is out of focus, isn't it? because in out of focus it's also a little bit which way's focus? That way? About there, I think. Okay, and then we'll string another loop on this end. So that's 10 beads. 1. That's 1. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I've just done that and didn't want to do that because I want to go through that bead there first. Get that tail out of the way. Now put these 10 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just form the loop like that. Which is enough to get a jump ring around without it catching on the threads. And then I go back through these beads about 3 times, just to add a little bit more strength and a little bit more tightness to that loop, assuming I don't tie things in a knot like has just happened there. And let's see if I can undo that. Do not want a knot here at all. The last thing I want, because then if this does form a permanent knot that I can't undo, then what I'd end up having to do is pull it back, cut it off and pull off quite a lot of thread, undo a lot of the work I'd just done in order to be able to thread, tie that thread off and start another one. Okay, go through a third time, then I'll go down the final side with a set of beads, and hopefully I've got enough cord left just to go all the way through once again. I'm not sure I will, but we'll see how far we get. Now that I've already formed this clasp holder at this end, I've got the starting tail which I can always use to reinforce with as well. Let's just basically go through some of the paths a second time or a third time, just adding extra cord to add a little bit of strength. Generally speaking though, you don't need a lot. Okay, so I go down through there and then I start adding beads. Two. Let go, get out of the way. Just make sure they seat properly in between each of the bicones. Otherwise if they don't seat properly, it means that the thread's just a little bit sort of looser than it needs to be. So just making sure they sit side by side each other and between the bicones, which also tightens everything else up as well, which is quite a useful thing as we work through. It just makes sure they space out properly and therefore the thread tightens a little bit. Make sure it doesn't drop into a knot. Which can happen sometimes. You put the needle through and don't realise you've gone through the loop of the thread. Right, two more. Okay, that's the main bracelet formed. All I'm not got to do now is just run back through there we go. Run back through this whole thing with the thread, just as I say, to add an extra little bit of reinforcement. The only trick at this point here is to make sure you go through all the beads and you don't accidentally skip some of them, because then it'll push them out of alignment and it won't look fantastically good. There we go. That's one of the advantages of a beading needle, it's really flexible. Nope, I skipped 2 there. What's that? So you can go sort of round corners with it, which is really rather a useful thing. Now then, am I gonna? Yes, I'm gonna have enough to go through and do this all in one. Slippery things are glass beads. Come on bead, you're going to go on the needle, you might as well go first time. There you go. See, I told you you'd go through. Wasn't much point in fighting, was there? It can be frustrating when you can't get the needle just to go where you want it to go. Right, I should just have enough in a moment to tie this thread off. So we'll go back round and down this side. And we'll tie one more knot in a moment, and then we'll cut that thread off, and we'll tie then the tail always work the end of the thread away from the last knot, just to add a little bit of extra friction, which helps keep the knot tight and stops it unravelling. And we'll cut that off there. And I'll rethread it, and I'll tie this this end off. So we'll just finish this off. cut that thread there. And pull that threading needle away. Put these blue beads away. Might only be 4, but I don't like wasting them at all, so I'm not going to throw them away or anything. Although that piece of thread I will have to. Now then, so it's got a bit of a twist on it. So there we go. BBR for life. Thank you very much. That's nice of you to say so. Those black beads are dark purple, by the way, but the camera doesn't show them up so well. Partly the lighting, I think, but what I'm going to do now is just put a clasp on there. If I can find what I... there we go. What I'm going to do is put a stainless steel clasp on there. And let's have some jump rings. Let go, thank you. What I'll do is form a little bit of an extender chain on the end as well, so let's just get a few of these out. Oops, come back here. Oh, that's a bit more. There we go. So just loop that through there. And then pass that through the ring on the lobster claw clasp. So that's one end. What I'll do is put something like about 5 as well as just close that. So I'll just fasten the 5 of these jump rings together to form a small extender chain. And then we'll fasten that on the other end. Three, we've got a loose one. Yep. 4, I want one more, come on, and I'll use this one to fasten it to the bracelet with. And there we go. So if I can get hold of that. There we go, small extender chain, but then we've got a bracelet. That's not focused very well. Come on camera, tell you what, you do it yourself. Okay, let's bring a light a little bit closer to this. I'm sorry that's going to blind the face cam for the moment, but just so you can see the bracelet there. Of course it doesn't particularly suit me very well, of course, but sorry. That's kind of what it looks like on a wrist, even one like mine. I can't quite fasten it, but there we go. Right, well, we're now up after 10 o'clock at night, I'm afraid. Which is when I normally stop at about 10 PM, so we're a little late for the moment, but I wish I could get lighting better in here. Unfortunately I can't. So we're going to stop the stream now, having just finished this. So a bracelet for this evening. So what I'm going to do is point out my website, zaragonart.com, and the shop site down there, which is zaragonart.etsy.com, and the coupon, which is available there for use in the shop if there's anything there that people like the look of. I shall be putting some more stuff in there hopefully tomorrow, but we will just see how time goes. In the meantime, if you'd like to follow me, that would be fantastic. You can do so on Twitch. Push the follow button just below the window. On Twitter, it's at Zaragonart, or even on Facebook, which is also Zaragonart. You can follow me on YouTube as well if you like, but you'll need to do a search for that, which is Zaragonart Space Studio. Hopefully at some point they'll give me a nice URL to go with that, but not just at the moment. You've got to do a search for that. So I should be hopefully around again tomorrow evening from about 8 PM UK time, 2000 hours UTC or GMT. They're both, in fact all three are the same at the moment. Can't be for long. They must be coming up to British summertime shortly. I'm not sure what I'll be doing tomorrow night yet. We shall just have to wait and see. Might do something with this. We'll see. See how I feel. Power tools, sharp tools. Not the sort of thing I feel like working with at the moment, but might have a go with that. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great evening. I'm going to say good night here from the White Rose County of West Yorkshire in the UK. Hope to see you again in the future, and bye for now.